Hey guys, Janice Vaughn, letting your light shine. Welcome to episode 91. I cannot believe I've done so many episodes. I feel like I have so much to talk about. So I'm going to pick up from episode 90 that I just did a little bit ago. And this is so ironic that I posted that about the red flags because this video is going to be about manipulation. Okay, so these are classic, and these are verbatim words spoken from the narcissist to me in an email right after he was served with the order of protection a year ago. And I don't know how I came across this, but I did. So listen to this. Now remember, he got an order of protection served upon him because I told him, if he doesn't stop the abuse, I am not going to stick around. I'm going to leave. And he is going to be pushed out of the home if he doesn't stop it because he didn't know how to be a kind person. You know, yelling incessantly at me daily, calling me names, you know, disrupting my workspace and being just, completely surly to anybody he crossed paths with. I mean, the man was a ticking time bomb. And, unfortunately, I witnessed the explosions far too many times, and I just was not going to witness another one. So he was kicked out, and this email came through. Listen, and I'm just going to read what he said. Okay, there's several little sections. He doesn't own up to a freaking thing that he did. Okay. You don't get orders of protection granted unless there's significant evidence to prove that somebody was abusing you. So the judge had no problem granting me the order of protection. And he knew that all these years I'd had enough, and it just kept getting progressively worse. And that's the thing with abuse, you guys. It's going to get worse before it gets better. It's not going to get better. You have to understand that you will never get to a place where it's going to be what you imagined, okay? Because your thought process of how a relationship should be is completely opposite of that of a narcissist, okay? So anyway, back to the email. So he gets kicked out. He didn't have a job, but he was not left penniless, okay? He knew 6 years he didn't have a job, he needed a job, because if something like this happened, he could pick himself up off the floor and move forward in life. Okay, I have no place to go for housing. I had to sleep in the car last night in cold, chilling 40 degrees and have no access to money. You guys, we live in Arizona. Seriously, give me a break. So this was a year ago. He started the poor me. I had to live in my car. Why would you ever put yourself in that position where you had to stay in your car? Why would you do that? That's my question, okay? There is no reason you had to get a restraining order because I have left you alone the past 2 weeks like I have had in the past. What? So he behaved for 2 weeks and that was a good reason not to get an order of protection? The thing about it is he knew, and I kept saying, you're pushing me away, you're pushing me farther away. Every time you do this, I'm that much farther out the door of this relationship. So keep it up because one day you're gonna look and I'm gonna be gone. And that's exactly what happened. But the poor me about living in a car. Seriously. And then he goes on to say, I don't deserve any of this, especially being forced out of our home. He doesn't deserve, what? Left with no money, and I will not use my credit cards and rack them up because you got an order of protection against me once again. Yes, once again. I find it ironic that most of your clients that are going through a divorce don't have an order of protection against them to force them out of the house. They actually live together like we are doing. Can you explain that? Has nothing to do with anybody else but you and I. That's it. I don't compare this or that, thank goodness, that relationship to anybody else. It's not the same. But he doesn't own up to, I can't believe that I lost the opportunity to fix this marriage. I can't believe I was such a terrible husband that I forced you to go to the courthouse and get a restraining order. None of that. Poor me. Why am I in a car? It's 40 degrees. I'm sleeping in my own car. I have no money. But not once did he realize what he did to me, what he had done to destroy the relationship of 6 years, what he did to, ruin so many relationships with family members of mine because of his behavior. But it's not about me, you guys. It never was. This is why he doesn't care. He never cared. He never will care. They don't care. They don't care about anything but them, okay? So then he goes on to say, so please just make this smooth and continue to pay our bills like you have always done. Your choice, in quotes. You guys, that was never my choice. I told him time and time again, get a job. But what was interesting to me is he said, please make this smooth. I always make things smooth. I'm not a confrontational person, but he doesn't understand that you can't go through a transition like a divorce or order protection smoothly with a narcissist as himself, because they want to win at all cost. The divorce that I had with him was not smooth. It was not smooth at all. This was a divorce that should never, ever, ever have gone to court. But it went to 3 different conferences and hearings and trial. There was nothing to split. There was no children. There was no community, anything. But it went to trial. So delaying that for 6 to 7 months when I could have been divorced, probably right around March or April of last year. But no, it had to drag on till August. But you know what? He got the same thing that he would have gotten at the beginning. So it's just mind games, Please make this smooth and continue to pay the bills. My choice, like I said. Please Venmo me money so I can pay off all of my credit cards. I have to get it. Oh, please also send me money to get a hotel or other housing accommodations, food, etc. The guy is 51 years old. Why do you not have your own job? Why do you not have your own food? Why do you not pay your own bills? Why do you rely on somebody and then turn around, treat them like crap, and then demand that they continue to pay your bills? Do you see the manipulation? Do you see the manipulation in this? Because that is the stuff. So if you guys are hearing that from the person that you're dealing with, focus really. And I know a lot of times we don't listen to what people say. We hear them, okay? It's just like Mod Podge. But if you really sit there and listen to every single word that they're saying, you really grasp how deeply they are totally into themselves and totally not into you or anybody else, because they don't have a heart to care. They don't care about anything. Now, if the shoe was on the other foot and I was the one who was begging for a place to stay or getting out of a freezing 40 degree in Arizona, whatever, give me a break. Okay, first off, I would never be in that position, never put myself in a position to be homeless like that. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. I would have hit the ground running. I would have had 4 jobs by dark the next day, period, end of story. But if that was me, he would have sat there and went, psh, 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 like, well, how dare you get yourself in that position? How dare you let yourself get homeless? How dare you, blah, blah, blah. I never said any of that to him because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care that he was sleeping in a car, because he drove himself to that point. He put himself in that position to end up that way. And the narcissist will blame and blame and blame. So I wanted to share that because I know that he has gone on to say, oh, she left me on the street penniless. She left me on the street with no home and blah, blah, blah. Well, no, that's not true. You had $22,500 of available credit on many credit cards that you could have survived for a good month or two. But you know what? The average person would have just gotten a job or 2 or 3 or 4 and said, you know what? I got to step it up, man. I got to get me a place to stay and I got to do it today. That's what most people do. But a narcissist didn't do that. You know what he did? He then went on to prey upon other women. And like I said, within 2 days, 3 days, he was already sleeping with my now dearest friend, Christina. And that's how we met, okay? So it wasn't him owning up to doing anything or trying to get his life on track. He then tried to move in with her in a matter of 3 days. And thank God for that, because her and I have become the best of friends. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how people enter your life. But I'm very grateful that the narcissist brought her and I together, because she is one really kick-ass friend. So I'll be back, guys. All right, manipulation at its finest. There you have it. All right, love and light to all of you. Thank you.